now we're here. But the Fire Nation, mean guys. I really, really don't like the Fire Nation. Do you have any opinions on the Fire Nation there?
No, but I have an opinion on the Water Nation. They're a bunch of pussies.
Why are the Water Nation pussies?
I don't know. I never watched the show, actually, so I just feel like the Water Nation would be like a bunch of wet pussies.
You see, the thing about water is, though, when there's a lot of it, it's very powerful.
True. So, like, who would win, Earth or water?
I feel like water, because you could just wash away with the earth. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I feel, because, like, you know how, like, there's, like, cracks in the sidewalk, and, like, that's from water.
Yeah, corrosion and whatnot.
So, like, that's how water will beat rock over time, which is, like, rock is the earth. In Avatar, do they have, like... Have you watched Avatar?
The new one or the old one?
All of it, or just, like, any of it?
Yeah.
Awesome, because I haven't. I'm gonna ask questions about Avatar now.
Okay.
So whenever there's like the Earth people, do they just like use like rocks, or is it like they can use all of land?
So mainly it's just like the dirt beneath them. I think they use what's around them, stones, pebbles. But I don't know. I've even seen in the show, like the Nickelodeon show, they'll like build giant walls in front of them for like protection and stuff.
They make those like brick walls, and they're like all blocky and shit. And they're like, boom.
Yeah,
and then
like
they
the mud walls.
Yeah. When I was a kid and like I seen like glimpses of it, like when I would walk by the TV, but I never like really got into it. I would see the people with the rock powers and I'd be like, damn, I want that. Like that would be if I could choose a power, I would want that. But now I think about it over the years, like I would want water.
Water?
Or wind.
Or wind. Yeah, see, I'd probably choose wind though, honestly. I don't know. I just feel like it'd be the most convenient to like day-to-day life.
Yeah, because like air is all around you.
That's what I'm saying. And like you could literally just like take people's breath away.
Yeah.
Like, not even. Ooh,
I keep pulling the damn.
Not even figuratively though. Like literally just give me your air. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, and then you could just stare at them as they're just like it's like some kind of like force shit.
A little psychotic, but yeah, I guess pimp, whatever you want.
Like what look would you give me if I was taking your air right now?
I don't know. I'd probably turn blue, honestly. Probably like a purple color. I probably wouldn't have much of a look.
There would be a look.
Yeah.
But like it would be only the look I guess the psychotic person would enjoy. So there's me.
Yeah. Oh, I got a question for you. Have you heard about I know it's gonna be a long run, but you ever heard of underwater welding?
Yes. Actually, you know what? Like I've heard about it when we were driving and we were like on our way to New Mexico. And we were passing a certain bridge and we were, I think it was being worked on.
Okay.
And so like that got into the topic of like water welding because they're on top of water.
Did you know that the underwater welders get paid so much because it is the only welding practice that has a death rate?
Yeah, like I hear like it's dangerous. Like
it is very dangerous because
you
make a lot of money.
Excuse me, dang, I just burped. But because you're underwater and you're working. You're working with welding, like the hot shit. So like how do accidents happen in that?
So a lot of it can be well, for one, a lot of people are claustrophobic. And so you're down there, and it's not like a wetsuit either. It's like one of the old school metal diving suits. And most of the time it's pitch black, other than like a little helmet cam. And you don't know what's around you. So stuff could just be flying in front of your workspace and you wouldn't even know it. Yeah. But pressure is another one. People, like, they'll do the job for so long, and then like the constant like pressure of the water will get to their head. And it can turn them insane or give them problems. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong. But a lot of times they take like turns, so a person will only be down there for like 10-15 minutes at a time.
Well, good shit, because like with a job like that, all the not even inconveniences, those are like just deadly conditions you gotta stay in. And like I feel like I would suck at that job. Like I'd be one of the people who like die like easily because like takes like a lot of focus. Like small errors probably they mean death. And like claustrophobic, like I don't know, claustrophobic and you can't see like all the stuff around you. Like, how do you keep organized? You gotta focus on welding this shit as you're dying. The pressure's like going to your brain. You're just like looking at this thing. You're like, ah. It's probably like, I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Can you imagine just like in the middle of welding, all of a sudden just a shark like rubs up against your leg? But you got to keep welding. You can't stop. Like, you got to make that money.
It doesn't matter if you made the money until the shark's bitten your leg off.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, then you can just sue the company, make bank. So I guess either way, you're still making money.
Damn. Do you think you could sue them if a shark bit you, or they would be like something in the waiver where if a shark bites you, then
I don't know.
nothing can be done?
I guess I just have to read the contract. I mean, I don't know. I might mess around and put some like chicken blood on my foot before I go down. Live out the rest of my life as a billionaire. You never know.
With one leg, you're
Yeah.
just like chilling. It was like you're sitting on your mansion with the couch. And you're like, it was worth it.
Yeah. I mean,
get
you
the
got
hobble.
money, just buy a prosthetic. I mean, honestly.
True, because you just sued the like billionaire company. Like that probably takes a lot of money. Like I imagine it takes a lot of money to do water welding.
Yeah.
So, and also, but what is an upside? What if you like the sea, and so you want to get closer to the sea, and so you go water welding? Maybe not the best way to do it. Maybe you should go diving. But like, what if you turn around for a second, and you can see all the fishies?
I feel like one of the biggest upsides is like early retirement. A lot of people in that industry retire at like 30 years old. Like it's not uncommon.
Dang.
But like I said about like the rotations, in reality, you're only down underwater maybe 2.5 hours a day, and that's in like 10-15 minute increments, and you're getting paid like $250 an hour. So,
That's pretty
you
nice.
do the math.
That's like bank right there, and then you can live out the rest of your days after 30. But like all the conditions you had to go through, like toll on your body probably. So, like how old do you think water welders usually live up to?
I wouldn't say long. I mean, I guess on the low side, maybe like 45. I don't know. I think that's when problems would start to arise, especially mental. I feel like it's more of a mental strain than anything. I feel like all that pressure on your head constantly would just cause you to have problems somehow.
Making up your brain will probably compensate with like all the horror that you just gone through.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, same difference.
I'm trying to think.
You're good.
So
what's your opinion on like punk rock? What's your opinion?
yeah, we were talking about that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You like punk rock.
Yeah.
I love the fact about punk rock. It's like just do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like and that's kind of like how grunge is too, right? Or is grunge more like punk rock but more punk rock plus?
Okay, so I've always thought as grunge as like the kid of punk rock, because I feel like it's punk rock, but it's more of like the dad version of punk rock. You know what I'm saying? It's more like the mainstream kind of thing, but in no way, shape, or form is like grunge mainstream, except when like Nirvana was a big hit. But I feel like it's more for like all audiences than like punk rock is, where it's just like heavy double bass drum and like yelling.
I thought punk rock that sounds like heavy metal what you're described there. It like because punk rock I thought it was more like people going yeah, like screaming at the top of their lungs, and like that would sound cool whenever like they can do that. And the rhythmic riffs that are like very simple but like are driving. I thought like the drumming in punk rock would just be faster. Probably would have double bass then. Yeah.
One of the how do I say this? There's a band called Chaos UK, which is actually out of UK, and their drummer uses double bass drums. It's really dope. But they got a song called No Security, which is really funny because at the beginning of it, it's like just go do 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 do, and then just stops, and then all of a sudden, dude just yells "fuck" as loud as he can, and then the double bass drum starts hitting, and it just gets really energetic.
Dude, that sounds like actually really cool because it sounds like it has a lot of energy.
Yeah, and I feel like that's one of the big things with punk rock. It's all about the energy. It's like because most of the time you don't hear what the guy's saying, especially in live. It's just all about like the energy, you know. It's kind of like Freebird. It's like throughout the whole song, the energy is just kind of like building and then building and building, and by the end of it, everybody's just fucking primal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like, and then there's a solo and the fucking dude. That whole song is like, there's no wonder why it's like always mentioned like, "Can you play Freebird?" Or because it's like
Play Freebird.
such like an energetic. But I love songs like that can like keep that energy with all the riffs and like still keep it new. Because like they're usually playing in like the same key. I don't know if they switch keys. That's the thing about rock. Like it's so simple, but like all the tricks they're doing like on the guitar make it like what it is and like all the energy that they put into it.
Can I tell you something about Freebird?
What?
So when Leonard Skinner started actually like booking dates, they were like the opening band, right? And so they were opening for the Rolling Stones, and I don't know which year it was, but they had like the stage had a big like lip because the Rolling Stones has like tongue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was the big like tongue that came off the front of the stage, and the one rule that was given to Leonard Skinner is you don't go out on the tongue. Like you do not do that. That is for the Stones. Well, during Freebird, the lead singer Ronnie Van Zant grabbed everybody and started pulling them out to the tongue, like the end of the tongue, and everybody was like, "We can't do this." He's like, "No." He's like, "This is Freebird. We're gonna do what we want."
That's badass.
Yeah.
That's like that's like the one rule they gave them, and they were just like, all right, fuck it.
Literally the only rule: don't go out on the tongue. And during like right before the Freebird solo, Ronnie Van Zant goes up to oh my god, I can't forget his name, but he was the one with the red SG, and he kind of just pulls him by the shoulder and walking out, and he's just like, come on. He's like, you want to, come on. But very energetic.
And the tongue
song.
is like probably like higher or okay. I'm trying to imagine the lip. Like, is the lip like
so like
underneath the tongue, and like there's like pillars holding up the tongue? Or?
It's not really a lip. It's just like a tongue. So like stage. And then like there's just a big circle that comes out like on the front of the stage, like another platform.
Does it
so
look
it's like same level? It's red. It looks like a tongue.
Cool? Does it have like a line in the middle like the tongue?
Yep.
That's sick.
It does. It's got like a black line down the middle.
Awesome.
But yeah.
Does it have teeth?
No, I don't think so.
Damn it! That would have been like the whole fucking mouth. That'd have been. I don't know.
Do you know any other songs that are energetic like that really just I don't know kind of put you in that mood where you're just like I can do anything?
The Urge. You ever heard of The Urge?
No, I have not.
Dude, they're freaking awesome. They're like
Is it a band?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They have like horns, bass, drums, guitar, like a band. But like I like the horns in it because like they do some really cool like parts in it, like with intros or just like later like for choruses like.
I know, and that's something that I find weird is that the horn, like especially like the trumpet, is such a very very broad kind of instrument. It's in all different walks of music. Like even in like Cypress Hill used it in a Tequila Sunrise and Illusions, like in rap music. And then you got, I think it was used in a punk rock song. I don't know, but I don't know. I feel like no matter what genre it's in, the horn always just I don't know hits you a certain way. You're like, yeah, this sounds nice in there.
Mm-hmm. It's like. It's so cool how like all the instruments have like their whole like role in a song, but like with horns, I feel like it would be really hard to like fit it in. Like I don't know, like with my like making songs, I don't know where I would put a horn. I just know like all I know right now is like parts. Like I just want to keep it like switching and kind of keep the rhythm flowing because like I notice about like with other bands like they have a sound because like they don't stop. Like they always come up with like new ideas to like change up a song or like but it's like still sounds like them. It's like sometimes you can hear a band and like just know it's them. Like you'll hear like AC/DC and you can tell like with like the open chords and I think the way they switch.
Yeah, I think Linkin Park is another one. Like there's Linkin Park is one of the bands that have done like. They've done like grunge, they've done pop punk, like they've done so much like inside their genre and outside their genre. But no matter what song you listen to, you can always you can kind of tell it's Linkin Park. It always kind of has that feel to it.
They
so
have
I
their
understand
style.
what you're saying. Yeah,
it's like established. I like with Linkin Park. I don't know. Actually, I know a few. I never really like listened in like deep, but I imagine like they wrap it up like really well with like how they do other genres of music.
Yeah, and also like Chester Bennett was a big guy on like he liked to get into different genres, but he liked to stay the same. Like he always had in damn near every song he yelled. Wait, am I allowed to cuss on here? I didn't ask that before.
That's like talent when you could just make a bunch of shit and wrap it all up and make it sound good.
Yeah, well he's got a song called "Giving Up," which he holds the world record as of then for the longest scream in a hit single.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it was I think 17 and a half seconds long, but it was like a constant like scream like at the top of his lungs. It was, you listen to it and you're like, what, is that guy still going? Like, oh my lord.
Sometimes I think about that, like with parts like at the end of Monkey Wrench.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, he's like going off. Like he did that in one take. My friend David told me that. Thank you, David. And then, but I always think about it. Like I want to watch those parts like live and see how, like they still like how they do it in performance, like related or to how they do it in a studio.
Yeah. Actually, another thing about Foo Fighters. Have you seen the video of Tyler Hawkins' kid playing the drums to My Hero or something like that?
Dude, that's like,
that was a very powerful video, man. He was,
that was a big
beating
moment.
them drums. And I don't know. I feel like, well, there was a video of Taylor Hawkins when his kid was just like a boy in the studio, and he said, yeah, he's gonna be a big drummer one day if he ever actually puts his head to it. And he's like, he likes to mess around, you know. And then you see that video where he's on point through the whole part, and I'm like, you know, I think he did finally get his shit together.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't want to play drums, but at least, you know, he did that for his dad, and it was beautiful, you know.
If you could play with the Foo Fighters and keep up with them at that age, like, you've definitely got your shit together. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, if they practice it. They probably did, rehearsed it.
Yeah.
But
well, at the start of it, when he's talking, Dave Grohl's at the front of the stage talking about oh, this is so and so, you know, and we let him start this song, and he starts trying to like play really fast and loud at the beginning. He's like, oh, Dave's like, calm down a sec. He's like, you gotta wait till we get into the song. And then right as the break starts, Dave Grohl turns around and looks boy in his eyes, and that boy just starts laying into them drums like.
That was the cue.
Them. Yeah, I know, that's what it was. He just kind of looked at him, just gave him like, go for it.
That's sick.
Your stage now. And it's funny because you can like see the eye contact, and then the boy just like smile and just start going at it.
He rips it.
Yeah.
He seriously like just rips it up there.
Yeah. Do you have I don't know, do you have any artists that you think no matter what genre they go into, they could really own it, maybe make it their own?
Tyler the Creator. I like Tyler the Creator.
I haven't heard any of his music.
Dude, I don't know if you'd like it, but like when I started listening to it at first, like when I first heard Goblin, I was like, this is fucking retarded. Like this shit's stupid.
That's how it was about Lil Darky. Like I had to warm up to it. See, Tyler is the creator. Him as a person, I think he's funnier than hell. Like I've seen him all the time, but I've never heard his music.
Yeah, he definitely had like a lot of funny ideas. Just like in the spur of the moment too. He's just like a really confident fella, and he just goes out and does whatever. Yeah.
He's also wicked smart. If you didn't know, like he's into engineering and stuff.
Shit.
Yeah, like
I didn't even know that about him.
Yeah, there was I don't know what TV show it was, but they would take like different rappers and then make stuff with them. He made a go-kart.
Wow.
Yeah, he made an electric go-kart.
Damn.
And he drew up the schematics and everything for it. I was like, holy shit! I was like, this dude is wicked smart. I'm
gonna look for that video and watch it because I think that would be neat to see. I didn't.
You gotta tell me what the show is called too.
Loiterer Squad.
What?
Loiterer Squad. That's the show he was in. That was like a dumb, like funny show. It's not dumb. It was funny as fuck actually. But it was like a lot of like Tyler's ideas, and he would just like, you know, they would do it with like his friends and a lot of like the OF group. Do you know who Odd Future is?
No, I do not.
So it's like a thing that Tyler made. I think Tyler made. I think a few people actually made it together. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Tyler came up with the start of the idea, like founding of it, but that's like a rap group where people who made beats, they also sold
Sages.
What was it? Merchandise.
Okay.
But it was like really cool. That's how he got to start, and then he went into just then in like Odd Future just like split up, and everybody in that group just like went out and did their own like single things. Yeah.
Unpopular opinion, but do you like Lil Peep?
Every time I listen to it, I don't really like it.
Okay, so I was gonna say something because you were talking about groups. Do you know who Ghostmane is?
Is that a group that he was a part of?
No, Ghostmane's another rapper, but they were in a group together. And a lot of people don't know that.
Like a duo?
No, it was called a Goth Boy Clique. It had about 9 members. It was when Lil Peep first moved out to L.A. He was homeless, bunch of his buddies
How'd
got
you
together
meet?
and they just started, making music in this apartment, selling magic cards and stuff to make rent. But it was on Skid Row, actually. They had an apartment on Skid Row.
Dude, that would be a dream. Just like you got to find the right people who like are willing to do that. Like go in and everybody live together. Because I hear things about like people are pissed off about their roommate, but like now your roommate is your musician partner. What the fuck? Oh.
Yeah, now your roommate is like your producer, person that gets you food, makes you beats. So it's like you really can't tell them to fuck off because you need them,
Yeah, and that's when you gotta like learn to work together. And I want that one day, but like I'm probably gonna do that with my friends because I like music and I just want to do that.
I take that back. They Lil Peep I think was in a group with him in a group called Schema, which was before Goth Boy Click.
Sage and
I
Lockhart.
just need to correct myself there.
It was it was not Goth Boy Click. It was called Schema.
Schema, yeah.
And that was the people with nine people.
And the 9 people in that group, and then he left that group because that group like disbanded, and then he got into Goth Boy Click.
Cool.
Which is where he met Lil Tracy, which is who is like their duo. They're like known to be like homies and make music together. You know what I'm saying?
Like when that group split up, they stayed together.
Yeah, actually, like Lil Peep went to London for a while, like I think almost a year, and because him and Goth Boy Click weren't getting along at all, but he still stayed in touch with Tracy, and he was like, "Listen, man, this is what's going on in my head," and he's like, "I don't want to take it out on like you and the group, but like I need to just kind of take a step back and do me," and Tracy was like, "You do you, dog. I'll be here."
That's understandable.
Yeah. And then Peep overdosed, and then Tracy was like. Yeah, so Peep overdosed at 21,
Damn.
and Tracy they had a memorial concert, and Tracy was like leading it, and he was like breaking down singing Witchblades, which was their song that they made together that blew them both up, like got them both popularity. But very emotional. Yeah, but it's I like performances like that where it's like most people look at it and be like, well, why is he like that? But you got to know the backstory.
Gotta know the context.
Yeah, it's like that's the song that like took them out of the streets, and now he's gone and Tracy's there alone. So,
and he had like parts in that song and like he couldn't fill in because he wasn't.
Yep. Well, he actually like when he started crying and he couldn't sing it anymore, like the crowd just kept singing it. They just kind of let Tracy like have his mental breakdown on stage and shit.
I mean, like anybody who knows about that. It's actually cool learning about this just now because like I always listen to Lil Peep and I just like don't like I don't know I'm not every time I listen to it I just don't like it. Maybe I'll like it later in my life, but like right now I just don't like stuff like that. But it's
like I used to.
He's definitely really talented.
Yeah, and well to think he started only making music at 19 and got to 21 and had like 4 or 5 albums that were on like top 100. So most people don't get as much success as he did in like 3 years. That's a lot. And then he died. So no telling what he could have done.
So he made rap, right?
Yeah. So
what other genres did he like dip his toes into?
So his big influence was like Blink-182, like 311, Sublime. He loves Sublime. So like. It's actually funny. There's an interview of him reading his Wikipedia page, and it says his genre. It's like rock, rap, alt, punk, and he's like, wow, they really just don't know how to categorize me. And it's
like, how do you like whenever you like have that many influences?
Yeah, and I feel like he was just kind of like gothic rap, like it was just sad boy rap, but it was definitely like a heavy rock influence because there's always a guitar in his songs. If you notice, there's always like some kind of little guitar.
I always like that, like completely different topic, but like even like with what was it? People like Kanye, like he's losing his mind right now. But Kanye, like back then when he would make like a lot of shit that like was always like hitting, and
I never
would
really
listen.
got into Kanye.
Oh really?
No, I liked Heartless. That was about it.
That's a good album.
I definitely drank to that a couple times, but
felt it.
I don't know. Other than that, though, like I never really got behind like the big time rappers, like the really famous guys. I'm more like discovering people on my own.
Yeah. Do you like dipping into like underground stuff?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Awesome.
Especially with like punk rock, I like to discover like stuff I've never heard before. especially like in the UK, because a lot of the bands in the UK, other than like Led Zeppelin, Clapton, stuff like that, they didn't really make it to America. Like they didn't tour America, so we don't hear about them. So there's a lot of great bands that are in either Canada or UK, stuff like that, that are really good, but just never made it to our side of the pond.
Yeah, there's like a lot of music out there. You just gotta find it.
Did you know that Bob Marley left Jamaica and lived in London for about a year and a half?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I wonder. Wait, did Lil Peep move to London too? Like
Yeah.
for a year? So like, why? What's with them all going to London?
Well, I'll tell you why Bob Marley liked London, and it was because the police did not carry guns; they carried batons.
Were the police like after him or something?
Who, Bob Marley?
In Jamaica? Because like, wait,
No.
what do you mean? Like,
So
why?
okay. Bob Marley left Jamaica because there was Okay, so like, the government was giving the gangs guns to kill the other government's gangs, if that makes sense.
In Jamaica?
Yes. So
and the gangs were policemen, or are they just gangs?
No, they're just gangs. So like the political leaders would like fuel these gangs to go do their dirty work, and so Bob Marley was very much against like our government's corrupt and whatnot, and so it took the two biggest gang leaders to come together and be like, we're peaceful now. Like, can you come back to Jamaica? And he went back and did the One Love concert, but little did they know they snuck weapons and drugs in through the sound equipment, and he never went back.
Damn. So like,
he was.
Were they trying to kill him, or
no? They were just smuggling it back into Jamaica because
shit.
into the music equipment from London.
They were like using him as a vessel to get all that shit, and not justify it, but like, justify it. I guess.
Yeah, no, not even justify it. They used him because they knew that like they wouldn't look in Bob Marley's stuff. Like, he's all about peace and love, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And like it turns out that like those two, the gang leaders. He had them come on stage in the middle of a concert and like shake hands and stuff. And about 3 or 4 months afterwards, they went back to war. So like, yeah, all this happened.
That
they
lasted
brought
for a
him
little
back.
bit.
Yeah.
Dang. Trying to think.
But yeah, dude's a great guy.
I love Bob Marley.
I do too. There's
I wish
there's
I
a lot
would.
about him.
Yeah, I wish I would look more into like his history,
Mhm.
but I just know him as like a stoner and about peace and one love and. But
he's a Rastafarian. Do you know what that is?
what's that?
It's his religion, the Rasta.
Is that like whenever you can have multiple wives?
No,
or
no. So I can't really tell you like the basic of the religion, but it's very big in Jamaica. It's what a lot of Jamaicans are, and one of their things is they smoke ganja. They smoke herb. That's like one of their main things, and they're very looked down upon in Jamaica. Some of them, because they're pot smokers.
Wait, so that's like in their writing, like you should, or is it like optional for them, or is it
as part of their religion? It makes them feel closer with their God. Like it's they're all about like peace and love, and like don't hurt your neighbor, help your neighbor. They're all about like, let's just get along, and that's how I feel like Bob Marley was one of the biggest advocates for that.
I wonder who came up with that religion.
I don't know, honestly. I think it's a very old religion, because I think it's based in Jamaica. I think that's where it comes from.
And if it came like from like really old times, or it's an old religion, and they smoked that shit back then, it's like.
Well, you know that weed used to grow like wildly, right? Like just out in the woods, and then the animals would eat it, and we'd reap the benefits of it. Did you know that? And then
because it's like kind of like cows and what grass they eat makes like the meat.
Yeah. So we want to get high, but like once they eradicated like the crop from like nature, right? We started to find all these new diseases and stuff that were never occurring before, because it was being dealt with, because we are already getting the benefits from marijuana.
Wow.
Even if it wasn't like THC or CBD, like we were still reaping the health benefits.
But we're not getting high. It's just like
it's just like
that. But that's like really neat. I didn't even know that.
Well, it's like if you have a cow, right, and like you're feeding this cow like radioactive grass, like it's bad grass. You're not gonna eat that meat. Like that's contaminated.
Yeah, it's probably gonna look like mutant.
Yeah, but then you got like A1 Wagyu, where these cows are eating like the best grass known to man and getting massaged every day. So like
that meat's tender.
Tell me, yeah.
I wonder, maybe like, cause like diseases started showing up, and like we lost we lost the benefits of the plant and how they ate it and like digested it, got into the meat, and it's like I don't know. That's cool.
Well, even like we've looked back at a lot of like Roman texts and stuff, and they used it as a very big thing in like ceremonies and stuff, like wedding ceremonies, passing, stuff like that. And couldn't exactly tell you how, but I know like throughout history and all walks of life, like marijuana's been around. Like it's been around the block a couple times.
Research showed that it ain't so darn harmful.
Yeah, honestly
MF
though.
Doom. You know what MF Doom is?
No.
Damn. Dude, that's like the real villain of rap, other than Lil Darky.
The real villain?
The real villain.
How's he a villain?
So he, let me explain MF Doom's history. So he used to be a part of a group called KMD, and I forgot what it stand for, but it was with his brother, and then his brother died. I don't know how, but his brother died, and so he had I think he stopped doing rap for a little bit, and then he got another persona, and it was called Victor Vaughn, and he kind of like played as like a hero.
Okay.
But I didn't know if he rapped about MF Doom in that time, but then but I don't know, his songs are really cool. Like he would just do like a lot of cool like little skits, and his flow was like deadly. Like he can flow. And then he stopped doing Victor Vaughn, but he would still keep the character around. But he took a new persona, and he wore like a mask.
Okay.
And he called himself MF Doom, which stood for Metal Face Doom, which is like he has a mask. It's like there's like two little tusks here, and it looks really cool. I don't know. Just look up an image of the mask if you don't know. But he would wear that everywhere he goes to like play shows. Yeah. And his shit was like really good, even though like he was like a villain. Like he would do like little like cartoon skits. You know who Doctor Doom is?
No, I don't.
He's like I think he was in DC or Marvel. He was DC.
I've heard the name.
Yeah, but he wore like a green cloak, and he had like metal body.
Was he like a square? Like a floating square?
No, that's the Mind guy, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Never mind.
I don't know
Dr.
if he was
Doom. No, I don't remember what he looks like.
Doctor Doom was sick. Anyway, like that's basically like their character he was embodying, but it was MF Doom. And then I don't know, it was really cool. I suggest you try checking out his stuff because like it's pretty good. And if you want to listen to something, listen to Food.
It's really that's what it's called.
That's the album. It's all just about he just raps like things about food.
Yeah. Have you heard of Suicide Boys?
I've heard about them. I never really listened to them.
Okay.
Is who's in that?
So Suicide Boys is two people. It's Ruby Da Cherry and Scrim. So Ruby Da Cherry is a little bit bigger of a boy. He raps a lot faster. But Scrim kind of looks like your average Newport smoker. He's kind of scrawny, long blonde hair. But they're really good. They're from New Orleans, which a lot of people don't know. They're from Louisiana. They're Southern boys.
And so like do they have like country influence?
Oh yeah, definitely. Maybe not when they're rapping, but definitely when you hear especially Scrim talk, you can hear like the southern drawl. But a lot of their lyrics, one of their songs they talk about dumping your body in the bayou.
What's the bayou?
The bayou is the swamp.
Oh.
That's where all the alligators and stuff are. The bayou is just kind of what they call it. But yeah, basically like dump your ass bayou, never see you again. But they're really really cool guys. I think they do a lot of fun stuff.
We are 33 minutes in.
33 minutes in. Wow.
Welcome to the maybe halfway point if we get an hour.
Yeah, I know. We never really had an introduction. We just started talking about Fire Nation.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like whenever you just started talking, I was like, oh, I should probably just hit record and then just like go off.
Yeah.
Because like this is like how it starts. Like there's no like. Sometimes there's an introduction. Like I'll hit record and be like, hello, welcome to Happy Guys, blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, right, bro. I don't think we said your name yet. This is Seth.
Hello.
We got Seth on here, dude. You're really smart. You know a lot about his like people. We've been talking a lot about music. Yeah. And I love music, but
Me too. I just got a lot of random knowledge about like random facts.
And it's neat. Like I didn't know all these things, and it's like cool. I'm probably gonna like listen back to this because I actually like the facts you're telling me.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, I'm glad to share. You know, I watch a lot of documentaries, so I know a lot of weird like kooky facts about people.
Well, that's neat that
Yeah.
that you're an interesting fella, bro.
Thank you.
But I want to go back.
Glad to be here.
Yes, we got Seth. Actually, why'd you want to be on? Was Bryson just like talking to you about it, and then you were like,
Well,
I
like,
want to get on that, or did he convince you?
well, no, like, it was more the fact that Bryson was like, "Hey, you should join the podcast." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And like, I've done one or two before.
Really?
Yeah,
That's dope.
yeah. My buddy JJ used to run a podcast. I don't know if he does anymore. It was on Spotify, but I was on there a couple times. But this is kind of different setup, you know. Like he had a very like this is what we're sticking to. This is what we're talking about. And like this is more just kind of free form, and it lets time go by more idly. There's not so much like just like you don't know what to say.
I get there. That's why I call myself a bad host. But like I want to come up with like more questions and like ask them. But like I gotta kind of understand the person like background a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta understand where they're coming from, what they know about.
And that's like why I like doing it at home from in my old school. Like I had a bunch, like all the people I grew up with, I would just have them in.
Yeah.
But like, when was the first time you were called Jesus?
First time I was called Jesus.
Because if you don't know, this dude looks like Jesus.
I'm also called Jesus a lot. I want to say it was probably the first week, honestly. My buddy Donnie said, "Hey man, you look straight like Jesus." I was like, "Okay." I said, "It's Mr. Jesus to you," and ever since then it was just kind of a joke.
Jesus, like, is he
Jesus is how you say Jesus.
Oh,
It's how you're supposed to properly say it, I guess. I don't know. It's just a different way of saying it.
I thought you were saying like hello Zeus to Zeus, like the god. I didn't know it was Jesus.
No, there's people that are named like Jesus, but they pronounce it Jesus.
Oh.
I think it's a Muslim thing. Don't quote me on that. I do not know. But I don't know. I know it's different cultures, like they use stuff like that in biblical names.
Nice. But yeah, this is definitely very freeform. I don't know what to do on a podcast. Like when I first had the idea, I was like really into Joe Rogan. I was like, holy shit, dude, they just do this and they just talk about really interesting shit, and he has a bunch of people on there like from different backgrounds, and so I want to do that. And then me and my boy Dax got together, and we just did it. And it was
tea break.
You got the green tea there.
Yeah, I got the Arizona green tea. I got that treating me right out here, like a nice host, man. I walked in the door, man's like, "You want a drink?" I'm like, yeah, I could use a drink.
I got the water, but I don't want to drink it because I know if I do, I'm gonna squeeze the water bottle. It's gonna make that dumbass noise that water bottles always make.
Yeah.
And everybody always looks at you whenever you make it. You're like, gulp.
They're like when you come to class late and everybody just starts looking at you. Like, what are you looking at, bro? I'm like, yeah, I'm late. So what? You do the same thing.
It's you just got done being really busy. Usually whenever you're late, you're stuck in a class because of a teacher won't let you go, or you gotta do something. It's like fuck, and you're already really stressed out. And you walk in, everybody's like, "Oh, look who showed up finally!" And it's like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
No, it's all right. I don't know.
Yeah.
People would be crazy out there in EOB.
Yes.
Name drop.
It's. I don't know if I should blurt that out. Now people listen to the podcast and be like, we got their location.
Maybe, I don't know.
No, I don't really care about that shit. If somebody listens to this and like wants to shoot me, then like fucking go.
Such a broad statement. Someone's listening to this and they just want to shoot me. Like that's kind of broad, my boy.
Dude, there's like imagine like all the people in the world that like might listen to this. Like you don't know who, so it's like, damn, this fucker really pisses me off.
Maybe one day you can blow up and then like come back and look at your early podcasts.
That would be bad because like they would be like, damn, this dude used to suck. But like,
nah, I don't even think it'd be like that. I feel like it'd be like if you went back and looked at Joe Rogan's first podcast, be like,
not very.
Damn, this guy sucks. And then you'd be like, well, I could see like what he built on. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see where he came from.
I guess it's like, I just do this because it's fun. Like and also it's like an excuse to just have people on and talk about interesting shit and get to know like you know a lot about music. So like that's you, man, and that's sick. And back on grunge and punk, which is like I know like a jump back.
Oh, very good.
But I wanted to say this and I didn't say it. But I feel like grunge is like a do it yourself, but also like I don't give a fuck about like how you feel.
Yeah.
And it's like more like I noticed in like Nirvana, like the statements he'll make, like it just feels like everyday things you'd say, or like the typical, or not the typical, but like a person would say, but like is like going through life and doesn't really like mind about the outcome, but like he's just like content, and he's just like whenever people give him shit, it's like, you know, you'd be like a little bit of an asshole about it, and you're just but it's not like that you're an, well, you can call him an asshole, but like usually the asshole doesn't care and he's trying to make you mad, and you know, people who get let people get under their skin easily, and it's like you can like those people like fucking like laugh whenever they're just like digging into them, and they don't even care, like you're just like, that's the goal, like you're just trying to make them pissed off. But with punk, I feel like it's more like trying to make a statement like about how the government is, like grunge feels more like local, you know, like just what you know, typical, like, you know, everyday life. And punk is more like making statements about government, and that's how I feel. So I feel like punk is the dad and grunge is the kid.
Okay, I feel what you mean, and I feel like grunge, like you said, is more like do what you want, but I feel like punk is that way, but it kind of has like a, this is what it's supposed to sound like, you know, like this is punk, and grunge is just kind of like, I could see that being grunge, like like I don't really know what to categorize that is, but you know, it's kind of heavy, you know.
They're very close in genres, but there is differences. Like,
I know
that's
there's
why
a few
split up.
minute differences when you're listening to music. You're like, meh.
And you can,
and I feel like one of the things for punk is very like fast paced. I feel like it's very like you know what I'm saying. But I feel like grunge can be anywhere you want it to. Because I feel like I could argue that Sublime is also grunge.
I feel like Sublime is like punk rock, grunge, reggae.
The lead singer described it as a ska punk.
That's it.
Well, yeah, a ska punk band mixed with reggae. Which
that kind of does sum it up. But why would you argue that they're more grunge as well?
I feel like they're a lot more grunge because I don't know, they have a song called I Saw Red with Gwen Stefani, if you know who that is, from No Doubt.
Dude, I love Gwen Stefani.
Oh my lord, I got a thing for you here in a minute about Gwen Stefani and Rodney. If give me a minute, but yeah, they
I have a thing. Hold on, you keep talking.
All right. Well, there was I Saw Red. Well, Gwen Stefani was hot after dude from Sublime. If you didn't know, like Gwen Stefani really liked Guy. Oh, okay. And
I'm showing him the book.
Oh, No Doubt book.
This is like tells me how to play some of the songs from the Tragic Kingdom album.
Oh, okay. But yeah, if you didn't know, Gwen Stefani, like, I wouldn't say in love, but she definitely like had a very big crush on lead singer Sublime, which I can't think of his name. It's like Rodney Randy.
Really?
Yeah, I forget what his name is. He overdosed too.
I think it was Black Tar.
Yeah, I have no clue. But yeah, they were very hot after each other. But she said, I loved Bradley, but Bradley loved drugs, and that's his name, Bradley. But during the live performance of I Saw Red, he goes, "This is Gwen Stefani from No Doubt," and she comes out and she's like, "Wow, Bradley, you look so handsome," and he goes, "Yeah, I'm prosperous." She goes, yum, 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 yum.
That's what they said on stage?
Yeah, they said that to each other on stage, and that was the first time I'm like, what's going on here?
That's kind of cute. Because, like, now I think about, like, some of Gwen Stefani's songs, and I wonder if he was, like, writing about him. Like, with some of her love songs.
And that's a big thing, is Gwen Stefani, I forget who her husband is. Is it, like, Blake Shelton or some shit? I don't know. I'm pretty sure Blake Shelton's her husband. But the point is, when I found out who her husband was, and I was like, you went to that, like, after being hot on Bradley? Like, that don't make sense. Like, it's completely different people.
Was she with her husband at the time when she got hots for Bradley, or was it, like, after her husband?
I have no clue, because I think they were hot after each other even when Bradley, like, first started getting big in music, which would have been, like, early 90s, I believe.
I never would have guessed that, because I look at Bradley, and he's, like, ugly as fuck. He's, like, fat and shit, and, like... I'm sorry. No,
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'm being like rude. Like I'm being like
Oh
blunt.
no, you're good.
But like I look at him, but like he goes on stage and he's got like the big like beer gut.
have you
And,
seen their bass player though?
is he like hot or is he like?
He big boy. Yeah, look at that. Watch a live performance of Sublime. Their bass player is like, he's like 6'4", and he's just like, he's.
Is he got that muscle or is he just like big?
He's a big boy. He's a
Holy-
big Long Beach, Cali kind of guy. Like just starfish in the sand kind of guy. You know.
They're like. They're a group of people and they look like they came from the same like pod. Like,
yeah,
they look like the people, the green peas in the pod.
Here, you want? Here, I got another little thing about Sublime.
And also, did their band only have like 3 people or was it 4?
Yeah, it was 3. It was the drummer, the bassist, and Bradley. And they well, when they were a kid, I'm gonna say something about marijuana. But when they were a kid, they were probably like 15, 16. This was the first time that the drummer and the bass player met Bradley, and they were hanging out. They wanted to smoke. They want to get high. Bradley goes, "Oh, well, I know a place," and so they walk down Long Beach. Walk down the beach, and he walks up to this Mexican guy, and he buys weed in fluent Spanish at like 17 years old, like bleach blonde white boy.
So he was pretty
Fluent
smart.
Spanish. Yeah, and that's what the band members like. What the fuck? There's like this white boy from Cali speaks fluent Spanish, and like they respect him. Like what? And
Me llamo Bradley.
Me
I
gusta
am
reggae,
horny.
me gusta punk rock. That's a good song. Caress Me Down. I know all the Spanish to that song.
I only know a little bit. I think I said it wrong, but dude, that's a cool fact. I didn't even know that. Like, I thought he was like younger, but he's 17.
Yeah, when that happened, and it made sense because in a lot of his songs he does sing a lot of Spanish, and it's because where he was at in California. Well, if you didn't know, California is filled with a lot of Mexicans, first of all. But where he
It's
was
close
in
to-
Long Beach, yeah, there was just that was like the society, and so apparently that was like his second nature was like learning Spanish.
I wonder how he did. He just like probably met a lot of Spanish people.
I mean, I feel like you'd be around them long enough. You want to know if they're talking shit about you or not. I mean, I'd like to know a little bit.
I said Spanish people, was Mexicans, but
I mean, they don't have to be Mexicans. Mexicans come from Mexico. People in Spain speak Spanish, but I mean, it don't really matter.
there's Hispanic, Latino, and is it Mexican or am I completely wrong?
I don't even know where to begin, bud. Like, I wouldn't even know where to start on that.
There's a lot of different browns. Anyway,
There's a lot of shades.
of course. But are you a mutt?
a what?
A mutt.
I don't know what that is.
So it's like a lot of mixtures of like whites, like
Oh,
German
yeah,
and
yeah. I am
Irish and
I'm Irish, Dutch, Scottish. Wait, hold on. Irish, Dutch, Scottish, German, Polish, and Cherokee.
cool.
I am damn near 100% white boy, other than like I think it's 0.8% Cherokee.
Wow.
Got my blood done when I was like 16 because that's what I wanted for my birthday gift. It was a 23andMe, and my dad went.
Well, what's a 23?
23andMe. It's 23 chromosomes. It's where you find out like what your background is, where your people came from.
Alright.
You like spit in a tube and send it to them. It's kind of weird, but I don't know.
I want to get that too because I want to know about like what percentage I am of every
Yeah.
race that I am because I know I'm a mutt
Mhm.
and I'm Mexican, but
Someone's blowing up my phone.
or probably just Latino. But my mom, excuse me, my mom used to live in Mexico with
Yeah,
my
really?
with my grandma and my grandpa, and they lived in
Oh,
like a
you're
really
Mexican?
yeah.
Oh no shit! I didn't even know that.
Well, now you know.
Hell yeah.
You're probably gonna meet him after this, but so they lived in like a really small room, like a really fucking small one. My grandma told me about it, and I forgot about what they were called, the rooms. But like it's just one room, and the whole family lives in there. There's like the kitchen where they sleep, and it's very small.
Yeah,
I
can
cannot have
imagine.
emphasis on how small it is. But then they decided to move to America for like different more opportunity. They
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
and like they would make more money here and have better living, and that's where my mom met my dad. But my grandpa was like really strict
Mm-hmm.
and like tough, like really tough love on my mom and on
Okay.
all the girls and and the brother. Yep. I thought it was all girls for a second, but no, there's one brother. But dude, tough love.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into that, but tough love.
I get
Anyway.
that. My grandfather was a racist, so. I
Oh
get that.
shit.
Yeah, and my sister's mixed. Explain that one.
Wait. So wait. Is your mom white and
Yes.
your dad is he Mexican or is he white?
No, my dad is white. My stepsister has a different dad.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like my sister's 10 years younger than me. But yeah, like grandpa was not down, let me tell you. Like ooh, it was a
With the
stir.
stepsister.
No, not even I don't know. I guess she'd be my stepsister. I never thought of it that way. But yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. You said that, and I was just like thinking because
oh no, you're good.
you guys are related with the same mom, but she just has a different dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like
but
a half sister.
but like your grandpa was like racist towards her and would
yeah,
like
so like
that's fucked.
so like my grandma was like closet racist. She was a bit better, but she wasn't like when the baby was born, when my sister was born, she would like crawl around on the living room floor. My grandpa would not even acknowledge her presence. Like even when she would whine, like he wouldn't even think she'd be there. My grandma would sit there and hold her and be like, "Look, Newt." That was his nickname. Like, "Look, she's so beautiful, she's so healthy," and he's meh, watching his fucking his news. And eventually one day she got old enough, she crawled over to him and used his leg to like stand up, and then he like looked down into her eyes, and then like after that, like not a problem. He was like, This is my grandchild, and I'm going to spoil her. And he still
Well,
does.
at least he came around. Like that's good.
Yeah, and I think
'Cause-
it took just age, because I used to not be able to have like friends that weren't white in my house. Like
Wow,
we had to stay
dang.
outside. They weren't allowed to come in my house. Yeah, it was like that. And like as a kid, like you go to school and like you hear about like how people were racist like back in the day and stuff.
Mm.
And like I know he used to be a lot worse, but then I'd go home to stuff like that and I'd be like, damn. I'd be like, this stuff is still like really around.
And you're like got like firsthand experience. It's how did you? Are you okay if I ask how you feel about it?
Oh no, I don't care.
So when I'm sorry, I'm gonna ask a few questions. So when
Yep.
you were younger and you noticed racism, and how like it exists in your life and you're learning about it in school, how did you like feel about it? You just like you knew it was wrong, but you like felt split.
So like, see, I had learned about like racism in textbooks, and it wasn't like the same thing that was happening in my house. So for a long time, I didn't really see it until about probably middle school is when I started reading between the lines. And I was like, wow, my family is really like fucked up. Like I was ashamed, really, like of like my family, because I'm like, how ignorant do you have to be? Like just like someone's skin color determines what their brain thinks like and how they're gonna act. I was like, it's very uneducated, you know. And even as a little kid, I would see like or hear the things that they would say, and I'd be like, this is wrong. I'd be like, even as a kid, like not knowing that much from right and wrong, I'd be like, this is wrong. Like this is terrible.
It's more about like respecting the differences, but it's I don't know. I wonder like how racism came about, because like if you think about how humans are, you
I feel like
so
it came from, I don't know. I feel like at one time we all looked the same. You know what I'm saying? I feel like all the time we looked the same, but eventually people spread out across the earth. Different walks of life, different nutrients, stuff like that. And so we all kind of changed.
and adapted to different.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like at one time, like people being different colors, like that wasn't a big deal. Like it was just, okay. And I feel like that's how it should be nowadays, but people just make way too big of a deal out of it.
Mm-hmm. And it's probably because of all the damage throughout history. Like, well, definitely is, not probably, but
And
sorry.
you're
So
good.
the way I feel about it is like the fact that like you're different, like you like let's say like you're living a life fucking 2,000 years ago or some shit.
Okay.
Or how long ago? Whenever like you still got like tribes and trying to survive with like
It's like pilgrim air and shit.
yeah, and you're living around amongst of a lot of people that look like you, and you just get used to that.
Okay.
And then like generation people are still used to that. something clicks, whatever, and then they start learning about different cultures and not learning about the different cultures, but learning that
Like
other
witnessing
people
them.
other people exist, and
Yeah.
and they got different, skin, and I wonder if that like splits them, like, because like they see them, they don't look like us, and then it's just like they make the assumptions because of like how they look. I wonder if like that's how it was, or the traditions they had too, because everybody has different traditions from different colonies, I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you're on a different part of the earth, everybody has different religions probably, and just have different practices. And did I say traditions already?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. And then
I feel like a lot of racism, especially nowadays, comes from culture, like how kids are raised. And I don't feel like there should be racism nowadays. I don't feel like there is like.
oh yeah,
I feel like there is racism, but I don't feel like it should be a thing. Like, why? What do you get out of putting somebody else down and making them feel like shit because of something they can't even change? Like, how does that help society?
You're an actual scum.
That's what I'm saying, and I don't know.
And I make stupid fucking jokes, but like that's the thing, like they're like jokes, but
Yeah.
like it's like I feel like I don't know if it's okay to make jokes, but like whenever it comes like serious shit, and because I'm always I grew up around people who like will joke about how I'm Mexican, like say shit like spake, and like I sometimes I'll get pressed about it, but sometimes I just seriously like wouldn't care, and I'll be like, oh, so this is the game now, and I'm like,
I got an example for you. We got a boy at my school named Tommy, little Italian boy, like pure blood Italian. Like boy is like this tall. And at New London, very very hick town, like people make racist jokes left and right. Like but nobody is inherently racist, because I found this out, right? Because we had a new kid come in. And Tommy isn't the most popular kid in school, but he's got friends. He's got friends of all walk of life, like athletes, stoners, like he's got them all. Cool. Well, Tommy walks into class, and somebody has the audacity to make fun of this man's height. And,
are Italians short?
Yes.
Usually?
Well, usually yes, but this Italian boy is very short. And Tommy just kind of sits down and shrugs it off. He's heard it before. Dude comes over to him, just starts lighting into his ass, like won't leave him alone. My buddy Jonathan, who is a 6'5", like football player, like lineman, proceeds to take this kid that was picking on Tommy and hold him against the wall at height of 6'4", like straight out in front of him, by his throat, until he turned blue. And he said something about him. See that Italian boy right there? Yeah, he makes my pizzas. You come between me and my food again, I'll kill you. Like, it was something stupid like that, but basically, like, that's my homie. Like, you're not going to mess with him.
But that's, like, cool as fuck.
Yeah. And they're, like, we only have, like, 2 black kids in the whole school. And one day, well, the only one in my grade was Sasha Bowens. She was one of the baddies. Like, she was one of the popular chicks. But she was like the only black chick in our school. The other black guy, it was a black guy. But she was the only black chick. And this kid, Ivan, who's we kind of know he's racist. Like, he comes from farmer family that all kind of just yeah. Well, anyways, one day he calls her a spook, which if you don't know, it's a slang term for black people. It's a spook. And the teacher like starts lighting into this guy's ass, and he turns around and goes, "Oh, y'all are just like sitting here being I ain't gonna say the word, but NIGGER lovers."
That's
and,
fuck.
Yeah.
That's like some really like.
Oh yeah, and
never eat soggy. That's South shit.
Yeah.
That's some like really South.
Sasha picked up a desk and threw it at his ass.
Well, like.
I was
probably rightfully so.
Yeah, I was flabbergasted. This was middle school, dog. Like, I was flabbergasted. I was like,
how the fuck could that be happening? Like,
because it's New London. It's a small town.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's drop New London sucks ass.
Yeah, don't go there. You will be.
Don't go to school there unless you got to go to juvie, and then I guess it's better.
I don't know. Is that the one that you're talking about that was like in the middle of the woods, or is that?
That's Mapleton.
One? Oh, is yours more in the middle of the woods, or is it like?
It's just kind of in the middle of cornfields.
I
Like
think
you'd
that'd
just be driving through cornfields and all of a sudden you see a water tower, and then like a couple houses,
then a
and
school.
then more houses, and then a school. Well,
I think that'd be interesting to go to. Like I don't know. I've always wondered about like what are the schools and what it's like and
well, see, I was like that too because I didn't go to a different school all my life until freshman year of high school, and what I've realized that most schools are half-assed.
and is yours half-assed?
New London especially is half-assed. Like all the teachers, all the staff there just want to get through their day and go home. So like they just don't care about like the lesson plans or really anything. And so it just kind of makes the environment everybody's just want to kill themselves.
And what do you mean by half-assed like in other schools?
For example, like if a water fountain's fixed, they don't like try to fix it or plan to fix it. They just like put a piece of tape over it and they're like, "Hey, don't use that." Or like if something's for example, like our pop machine did not work for like a year and a half, but people are still buying shit from it. So like it was just taking people's money, and we had to keep submitting these reports. And finally, the Coca-Cola guy came one day and pulled out like $200 and some in quarters, and I was like, I don't know whose money this is, and everybody just came down and like grabbed a couple dollars, and they're like,
shit.
yeah, this evens out.
Get your money back there that way. And did he make any money like with all? Did the guy,
No,
the
no,
Coke
no,
guy,
no.
keep any of it?
So he came there specifically just to get the money out. Like,
Mm.
because it had been a problem for so long that finally enough kids had complained. It's like, all right, we're actually going to get this taken care of.
What if like nothing was done about it and the school took that money and used it?
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Like, they're shady like that, dude.
Make an extra buck like
Yeah,
that.
like it was teachers. There was two teachers. I'm not gonna name names. But it was a couple, right? But they were both teachers. And well, the wife was messing around with our gym teacher.
Oh shit, so it was an affair.
And like, so this gym teacher told us, he was like, all right, guys, I got an opportunity to go back and teach at the school I graduated from as a kid, so I got to leave, blah, blah, blah. And we're all sitting at each other like, what? Like, and this is elementary school. And all of a sudden, this teacher is no longer at school. She's taking leave of absence. She's got a substitute for the rest of the year and half of the next year. And when she does eventually come back to teaching, she's got a new baby.
Oh shit, and that was from
buddy.
that must have been like very heavy, like
And so
big fucking. I
the
don't know.
reason why she left is so that nobody would see her with her baby bump and being pregnant. Like she's like a high standing member in the community, but she did not like show up to any public events, nothing during that time. And so like everybody's talking like, was it his? Was it the husband's? So that's like one of the things. And so now like she doesn't teach there anymore. But everybody, like every time we see her in the community, we're just like, dead bitch.
So wait, how'd you guys figure out that it was there was an affair going on?
So I didn't find out till a couple years later when actually my mother connected all the dots for me.
Oh,
When she first, I knew about like the mysterious like leave of absence stuff like that, but I didn't know they had a new baby. But mom's like, well, all of a sudden they just started posting like their new child on Facebook. I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, like it was just normal shit, and then all of a sudden we got a baby. But it was yeah, but there was never
cheating.
like pictures of her stomach or anything like that. So it's like she was definitely pregnant, but it seems like they just wanted to hide it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that situation is a little fucked.
It's New London. There's a lot of fuck situations in New London.
I'm trying to think about what was going on before. Oh yeah, so like I think it's okay to make like jokes that are like a little racist,
Yeah,
not, or even a lot, but like it's just like
I think
I guess it's all about like delivering and how.
I feel like it's all about the people you around and how comfortable you are with like who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like I can sit here and talk and make like Nazi jokes and jokes about Auschwitz, but I would never be like disrespectful to a Jewish person or somebody that like actually was in the Holocaust. Like I have the utmost respect for them, but I make jokes about it. I make jokes about it left and right.
Yeah, because like I feel like everything that's happened, like it gets joked about. Like it's just like history, you know about it, and then like correlation happens, and
Well, I feel like if anything, it's publicity, right? You're getting word out about it, and so like even if you are joking about it, like the statement is still there.
yeah,
Like even like some of these jokes when people hear them and they go, "Oh, that's too far," and be like, "Yeah, yeah, it is like racism's fucked up. Like the joke's gonna be fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's but yeah, I feel it's all about like the audience you're around, and it's trying to like when you're not purposely trying to offend somebody, when you're actually just trying to make comedy out of it, and you're not trying to get on somebody else's like bad side. I feel like then it's okay. But when you're making jokes that are like sent out to actually hurt someone's feelings and stuff, I think that's fucked up. I really think that's not what comedy is supposed to be used for.
Yeah, because like sometimes you could tell whenever things are like racially charged and like somebody feels a certain way about a certain type of group, and it's like how they'll be around them or treat them, and like that's like if you're doing something like push somebody down, that's like fucked. But whenever you're doing it to like make a joke and you're cool with the people around them and like they can laugh about it because they know that you can laugh at like yourself on like things that that who you are, then it's like we all get ours,
Yeah. Well, like for example, like my buddy Dante calls me a Zen word. Like that's just how he refers to me, and I call him my cracker, and that's just our relationship,
that's funny.
But it's all about like we'll be in public, like in Walmart, and he'll just like be at the end of the aisle and yell it. And like yell
Everybody's like,
and everyone's just
turns
like,
their head, like,
yeah, everybody's just looking at us, and I'm just like, I love you too, my cracker. And everyone's just like, what are
Turns to
these
you,
two
and it's like,
people
what the
doing? But it's funny to us, because we get it.
and you guys are like really good friends, and so
Well,
you can say that.
He was well, I was telling you about how like my grandpa didn't allow black friends over. I actually brought him over one time without asking, and my grandpa came home and made him leave. That was like,
Damn.
yeah, that was one of the first instances where I was like, grandpa's like really fucking racist.
Like he does not have a tolerance.
Yeah. Before, like, I just like thought they frowned upon them kind of people. And he was like, no. He's like, that boy will not be in my house. And I'm like, what's the problem? And grandma was like, he's a boy. Like, you don't know him. Grandma's like, I don't care. I don't want him in my goddamn house.
Damn, and she called him a boy.
Yeah.
Like just I don't know. It like that the fact that is like happens like makes it so like it's
Well,
just a
my grandpa would say shit, and then my grandma would sit there and try to like, I don't know, like add sugar on it. She'd be like, it's not as bad as you think it is. I'm like, no, he's blatantly being racist. Grandma,
it's like, but another thing is like it's like how somebody grows up, things you hear as you grow up and what you think is like right, and it's like your mind is like a sponge, like you're absorbing all this shit, and like it's like the way you just are set on, and so it's like whenever you like they shouldn't be racist and they should know it's wrong, but it's like just literally like how they are, and it's like
yeah.
and whenever it comes to that, it's just like nobody wins in that situation. Like you just can't change somebody's mind like that. But I hope that one day like everybody knows and like can learn at a young age.
Well, they got mad because I would like tell people at my school that my grandpa was racist, and like my grandpa would come up there sometimes. And so, like, he started noticing people were treating him a bit different. And finally I get yelled at because I told the vice principal about my grandpa being racist. And my vice principal was mixed. He was half African-American. And he was like, oh, really? Like, I dealt with him yesterday, right? And I'm like, notice how he never looked you in your eye? And he went, you're right. And I went, yeah, because I've dealt with this. I don't know.
I feel like I am scared to be racist. Sometimes I feel like I'll say things that like I feel like could be taken the wrong way, but it's like
I feel we've got worried about other people's feelings too much. And like I feel like at some point, yes, you should take other people's feelings and emotions into consideration, but I don't feel like that should be what you live for, like pleasing other people.
Yeah,
like I'll say what the fuck I want, and then like if I offend you, that's on you. Like I might say I'm sorry, I might say my bad, but I don't mean it. Like I said it because I meant it.
Yeah, and it's like just who you are, and like
I'm not gonna apologize for like who I am. You know what I'm saying?
The what I like about like people who can like laugh at like racist jokes is you could tell they're just more easygoing about like everything. Like they're just they're here in life. They don't know why, but like it's just a waste of energy to like get offended about something that's like.
And a lot of us are just struggling to like make it through to the next day, and so like a lot of fucked up jokes were just like yeah that one right there, and it kind of takes that sting away a bit.
There's like a lot you can laugh about through a day, and that's just like another thing, like another. I don't want to call it phase, but like sometimes I feel like the way I felt yesterday is not the way I feel today. But the feelings I had yesterday will come back around. Like I'll feel that way again, and like every day, like it's kind of just like a spiral of like all these emotions that like come this day. Spiral, listen to the spiral to Tuesday, and it's like I'm feeling this way, and then spiral on the Wednesday, I'm feeling this way. For spiral to Thursday, and then it comes back around on Tuesday, I'm feeling that same way.
This is like my first experience tripping, just going through every emotion.
Dude, you want to talk about tripping?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so tripping. I want to tell you my first trip. I was with my boy Dax. All right, got some shrooms from my drummer, and I was like, "Damn, this gonna be a bummer. If I don't get the trip with Tony, that shit would be another thing I gotta go off on. So I gotta swing shit. I'm going to Dax's after this football game, and then I say, "What's up, man? We here, and so we in his kitchen, and we putting bread on dishes, and we putting peanut butter 2 jams in the." I have nothing to rhyme there.
Yeah.
So I put the stems in and the caps, and I was like, "Hey, yo, I'm not taking a nap. I'm done rapping." Okay, but
do you put them in a sandwich?
yeah, for my first time.
Pussy.
I'm
just kidding.
Yeah. No, you can say it like that's like I feel like that's like a common joke about like people who take shrooms and then they just like put it in a sandwich and it's like, why don't you just eat them raw? And then
That's what I did.
that's what I do now. Like I don't enjoy it, but I'm just like I can tolerate.
Oh no, like
it.
there's no way you enjoy it. It tastes like shit. Like you really got to make yourself swallow them. Like I didn't mean to like cut off your story, but
Oh, you're good. I'll go back later, but
okay. Well, like first time I did it, like I was scared I'd do too much, so I legit like took this much of a stem and like this much of a stem, and then like I took the whole stem, and I was like hour and a half. I was like I'm not feeling anything, and so I found the biggest mushroom in my bag, which was like a cap like this big.
And there was a cap and a stem, or was
it was a cap and a stem, and I ate the whole thing.
And you're still like getting the shit from before, so it all adds up. Kind of.
Yeah, my first time was way too much. But it was like I had a friend staying the night, which was coincidentally my ex, and they were kind of like my trip sitter. On God, like it was just too much for me, and so they legit were just like with me the whole night. Were like, "Do you need anything?" I was like, "All right, I want to go lay down," and they're like, "Okay, you let me know when you want to go." I'm like, "Okay, I'm ready."
Sorry to cut you off, but did they were they a good trip setter?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Nice.
I felt very safe around them. You know, I could like they like for part of it they were like laying there just playing on their phone. And I was just laying next to them, just looking at the ceiling, like not doing shit for about 30 minutes.
Just in your whirl of thoughts.
Yeah, because if you ever been in my room, I got a lot of like I don't know, I got a lot of like trippy posters. So I was just looking at all my posters, like this is what I got these for.
Dripping and
yeah,
that's so cool.
Well, like one of them, I have it's aliens laying on these trees, bro, and this tree's got a face on it. Dog, I looked up at that face and that motherfucker's looking right back at me. I said, nope. I said, I'm looking over here.
That like paranoid you for a second.
Yeah, it did. And they were playing music and I'd have to be like, change the song. Like, why? I'd be like, it's scaring me.
No, like that's
exactly.
Your emotions are like tenfold, and like you just act on like.
And it's so hard to like make your body switch emotions. Like like mine was I described my first one as like coming in levels. Like each level was like a new experience, like it was doing differently. But all these levels, like there would be new ones, but eventually all of them would like come back. And one of the ones I distinctly remember is like I would just cry. Like I wasn't like sad, like I would just be like, and like tears just rolling down my face.
Like just for whatever reason
I'd
you're having
smiling,
a thought, an
like,
epiphany.
Yeah, I'd be like laughing my ass off and crying.
Dude.
Like it is so like no like my face hurt so much because I was just like this like the whole time, like my cheek muscles hurt, like the down here was all red because of where I kept like trying to wipe my eyes, and even if I wasn't crying I felt like I was crying, so I was still like doing one of these the whole night. Dude, I had bruises like right under my eyes from how many times I tried to wipe them.
Dude, that's actually kind of insane. That I don't know what that says about you. Like I can't say anything. Probably does, but not something I can see. Yeah. But because my first trip was like way different. I felt. Do you mind if I talk about mine?
No, I don't care.
So I'm eating this sandwich, and
Okay.
and I
Sandwich.
have like stems. I think I put like 4 grams or 3.5 grams.
Damn.
That's an okay amount for your first time to feel something. And so I ate it. We go back upstairs, and I'm just like sitting, and I'm wanting to watch Bob Ross.
Okay.
So I just like turn it on. Actually, no, that's not what I did first. I remember I was watching ping pong, and so I'm watching
Fucking ping pong.
Yeah, I'm watching 2 Asians play ping pong,
That's great.
and it's like there's like all these like crazy lights on it, and this is when I like first noticed I started like tripping. Is when I started like looking into the patterns of like what was going on, and everything that was like completely still, like I started like forming like images in my brain. Like it looked like a pyramid. Like there was like this light that looked like a triangle,
Yeah.
and it like just literally looked like a pyramid. And there was like all these gradients like happening. And there was these just like 2 guys playing fucking ping pong, and there's this white ball on top of like this pyramid, but there's no fucking pyramid. I'm just I'm just hallucinating it, and
quick thing, Kyle showed up halfway through my trip, just out of nowhere.
Kyle.
Yeah, Kyler from class.
Oh shit! On your first one?
Yeah, him and Bowen knocked on my door when I was tripping off my. My mother was tripping too, when she was back in her room doing her thing. She was having a mental breakdown. She was not having a good time. But like my stepdad was back there taking care of her. But anyways,
That's good.
like I was in the living room doing my thing with my ex, right? Just like experience and shit. And then they show up, and it's Kyler and Bowen, a gay guy from my class. And Bowen was like definitely the right vibe to be there. Like Bowen was just like smiley, like kept fucking with me, like in a good way though. He'd be like, "How many fingers am I holding up?" Like shit like that. And
it make you feel good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Like something I found on mushrooms is like you can definitely feel like people's energy. Like when they enter the room, the vibe definitely like really changes. And when Bowen got there, man, I was having the best fucking time ever. Let me tell you something. I felt like I was invincible.
That's sick. I want to hang out with you guys more, but I'm always like fucking busy, and then I look at shit I want to do, and I just make myself busy. Like and I don't know, but we should fucking hang out like
for sure
more. And
New London is just very very boring small town. There's not much to do except like smoke weed, play guitar. I mean, there's like unless you got a car, because then like there's a lot of like little hidden shit around in London. Like there's a abandoned building out in the woods. I don't know. There's like a bunch of shit. I don't even know where to begin to tell you.
Do you like visit them and just do shit and mess around?
Yeah. So like for example, like the abandoned building's kind of like a known local spot to the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. It wouldn't be off to say if you were going back there to plan to smoke, right? And you like got your 4 or 5 friends. You go back there and you open like, I guess the garage door is what's left. And there's just a whole group of people in there already smoking. That's happened to me before.
Well, that must be
because
fun
it's
though.
so known.
Everybody gets together and just fucking have a smoke off.
Oh yeah, like well, like my house, like you think your day's about to be boring as hell, and all of a sudden like 3 people show up to buy, another 2 people, and then another 3 people, and then all of a sudden your fucking room is just full with people smoking, and it's like didn't think I'd be doing this shit today.
Goes around.
Oh, it's not even like that. It's like like somebody will pack my bowl, and then somebody will be rolling a joint, and then somebody already have like a blunt like lit, and then my mom will walk in with the bong and be like, "Y'all are starting without me." So yeah, it's like that. She gets hectic.
I would get way too gassed. Like for me, whenever I smoke weed, it's like I haven't gotten used to it. Even like every time I smoke, I'm just like I don't know. Sometimes I'm jumpy. Sometimes I'm like paranoid, sitting down in a fucking mind bowl of
Have you
full
ever
of
greened
soup.
out?
Yeah.
Really? What's that
Is
like?
that whenever you like puke and then fall asleep, or is that just whenever you just fall asleep?
It's when you like. I don't know. Everybody's got a different definition, but what I consider is like when you smoke too much to the point either 1, you're paranoid, 2, you like start getting really sick and then eventually pass out, or like you just can't handle it.
So I think I green out depending on like who I'm around.
Okay.
I remember I smoked with this one girl, and I told her like, "Oh, I'd be chill. Like I'm chill when I smoke." But like this girl like really makes me nervous.
Yeah.
And so and their family, not. They're actually not. Just this girl makes me nervous. Her family was like really chill. I loved her family too, but I smoked with them, and like I'm just like in my head. I'm not talking, and I'm just like really paranoid. I'm kind of like slumping out, but it's because like almost nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just like get up and do something, but I felt like maybe that wasn't the right move. And when I had those thoughts, I knew I was just like straight up just paranoid.
Yeah, and I've never greened out, but I've definitely smoked too much.
Mm.
Like I've definitely like I've sat there and just been like I cannot function, and I just go to bed. Like I've never gotten like too paranoid or anything, because like when I started smoking, it was always like with my mom, so I didn't have to be paranoid, you know.
You always had just good experiences. And
Well, even that, like even at like 9 years old, I'd be packing my mom's bowl for her as she's driving, like so. I don't know. It just was never a big thing to me. I had to wait till I was 16 before I started smoking. Of course,
good.
I didn't. But
that's some good parenting. I don't know if it's good to like have your
Well-
kids smoke, but like that's
well, the way she looked at it is, I was ADHD, right? I was taking ADHD medication called what they call a methylphenidate, which is basically legal meth in a pill. And my mom was going to nursing school, and she started reading up on the medicine that I was taking. She said, "Yeah, you're not taking that anymore," because it made me act like a zombie. I was very lethargic, like it just wasn't working. And well, my mom started smoking pot because she's a paranoid schizophrenic, and she was like, "Hey, this might help you." And so it was right at the time where like I was starting to get very depressed, and like my stepdad was like beating my mom, not the stepdad I have now and stuff, but like I was going through a lot, and so it did help.
Yeah.
But yeah, she kind of was just like, I'd rather you do this and me know where you're getting it from than like you taking meth and then like going from that, like once they take you off that and then you still needing that and going after like different meds and shit. I'd be like, yeah, I get that.
That's why I feel like really iffy about like medications for like symptoms, because like it feels like all the emotions you go through and shit, like they're supposed to be there, and some people just like are too weak and can't like just deal with it. And I feel like I've definitely been there, like, you know, been too weak. I used to be a fucking like victimhood maniac. Like I would like, my thoughts were always like, why the fuck is this happening to me? Like this is something bad, it shouldn't be happening to me. But like what I realized is I kept having those thoughts is like bad shit happens to everyone, and like and it just happens. There's no reason for it. It just fucking, you know, bad shit will happen. And like when I realized that, I was like, oh, well, okay. But I still had like my shadow, like my that victimhood that like I got so used to. Like it would like I would have it in my head, but I know I would recognize it. Sometimes I would act off of it, but I really just try to recognize it and just not act on it. And then But what am I trying to make a statement about? I don't know. But I don't know. That's just I guess I just made that statement about who I used to be. But some people like might be too weak to deal with it. Like not very, you know, strong-headed enough and have enough willpower in themselves or believe in themselves enough. And that's why like they take medications to feel fine, like just feel okay. And for me, it's always been like I would do something that would make me happy, and I'm not thinking about like how I felt there. Like I would just do music, and I would just like sit and just focus on this and just dump all my energy into this. So I feel productive. I feel like I'm having fun.
Yeah.
I'm focusing on something and not that. So like
that's understandable.
Yeah. So like instead of dying, I do music or do art. And it's just always trying to occupy my brain with something. Because like whenever you just sit down and you know, just let yourself just sit there. Yeah. That's when you have thoughts.
All the intrusive thoughts and like shit that you try to push to the back of your head finally comes out. And it's like when you like try to fall asleep and like your brain's still racing. It's just like all them thoughts you don't want to think just come to your fucking head. It's like I got work tomorrow. I cheated, shit like that. It's just like all the bad shit you try to forget comes back.
Yeah, you dread all that.
I know. And as much as like I don't know how to say, as much as edgy as this sounds, like I smoke weed to feel numb. Like I don't, like I still feel emotions, but my emotions aren't like 0 to 100 real quick. Like right now, like I'd say I'm like about 95% sober. Like I'm pretty sober. I'm complacent right now, right? But like one comment, I'd be pissed the fuck off, like
If you
full
were high.
adrenaline. No, like right now.
Oh,
Like
okay.
one wrong comment and I could be fucking madder than hell. I could be depressed. Like I could feel like I want to kill somebody like that. But when I'm on weed, like man, you can say whatever you want to me. I do not care. I'm checked out up here. I'm on autopilot.
That's dope because I'm trying to think about how I feel on weed. I think I just get like, I don't know if I get a little bit more confident, like in what I'm doing, because like I put a lot of focus in just like doodling and like just making shit. And so whenever I'm on weed, it helps like focus on that more.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the time my mind is like running a million miles a minute, especially with like the ADD and ADHD. And so like weed kind of just helps me like it's like if you're in a room full of people with 50 other people and they're trying to have 50 conversations with you at one time and weed is just like you talk. You know what I'm saying? It's just like blocking all that other shit out and you just finally get to focus. That's what it's like for me.
That's nice. That's a good way to sum it up then.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. My mom taught me that because she was kind of explaining to me what she thought it like, what she sees in me when it happens, and that was like the closest thing. Was like, yeah, that does feel like what happens.
So your brain, you're saying, is like 50 people, different people talking, and like,
Yep.
and then whenever you smoke weed, it's just they
Well,
all
like
become
the
one.
50 different people are all like my ideas and like shit I'm trying to focus on. So like my brain's trying to go all these different like. It's trying to go in like a million different directions at one time,
That's
and it's just
called
going in circles. And like
a
weed
pancha.
just goes like puts a little wave point down. It's like that's where you need to go, and then I'm like, okay, straight line there.
That's like, oh, I'm sorry.
No, good. I was done.
That's called papancha. So like whenever you have an idea and something you want to work after, and your reaction is to have like a mountain of thoughts and like like you can't stop it. Like this is just how you do it.
Mhm.
Like this is what you're used to. That's called papancha. And
I didn't know that.
or actually no, papancha is the doubt that can come up whenever you're doing that, because like you're having all these ideas and all these voices in your head, your intuition is happening.
Yeah.
There is always that one little slip of like doubt sometimes, and you're just like, that's the papancha.
Yeah.
So ganja is good for papancha.
Yeah. You don't know something?
What?
I suck at making music when I'm high. Like I cannot, like I don't know where to go. Like I just get stuck. But like if I already know what I'm playing, man, I'll fucking kill it. Like I just feel it. But if I don't know where my fingers are supposed to go, I don't remember. Like I can't I can't feel where to go next. Like if you ever listen to like Stevie Ray Vaughan, he doesn't stop. Like he just everything just flows out of him. Like he doesn't second guess himself. It's just like his whole set is just like one song. Like the man doesn't second guess himself. And I guess what I'm
That's
saying
heavy
is like,
talent.
yeah. Well, you know who BB King is, right?
He is the blues godfather king. Actually, no, I think before there was somebody who came before him who invented the blues,
Yeah.
but I know BB King is.
Okay, well, anyways, I think it was like a 19, 20-year-old Stevie Ray Vaughan goes to a BB King show. Goes, can I sit down and play with you? And now, if you know something about BB King, you do not just go up to BB King and go, can I sit down and play with you? Especially at a live audience.
Because that's like the
'Cause-
type of dude to outplay you and not not be able to follow.
And that's what BB King was gonna do. He was gonna like play this dude on the table. Well, Stevie gets up there and sits down, plugs the guitar in, and they're sitting there just like bouncing notes off each other. And BB King is realizing that like Stevie Ray Vaughan is starting to get one step ahead of BB King. Like he's starting to play the notes before BB King is playing them. Like he almost knows what he's about to play. And that's where you actually see BB King's face in this performance. He's just like flabbergasted.
He's like heavy into blues, so maybe like Stevie Ray is also heavy into blues, but like other shit, so he can like wing it like faster. That's like so interesting to think about, because like I know BB King and like how he likes blues scale, but like he's so good at like walking around it, like and changing it up. But he's also kind of like he takes his time. Like he's like he likes going and like letting the song build up kind of like slowly.
Yeah.
Is what I noticed about some of his playing. But whenever it gets to like the high point, it's like it's just like a lot of noises happening, and it all just
and
sounds.
You wouldn't expect it, but Prince was like that too.
Wow.
Prince was a hell of a blues guitar player, like BB King. Like he could play like BB King.
Wow.
but he didn't do music like that, you know. There's a live performance of As My Guitar Gently Weeps. It has Eric Clapton, a couple other people in it. But in the middle of the song, right as the break happens, Prince appears on stage with his guitar, and he bursts out in this like a minute and a half long solo, just like blues like slide or like with the whammy bar, just
I think I've
like,
seen that actually.
it's fucking wicked. But before that, I didn't know Prince could play like that.
It's like crazy because you think of Prince and he's kind of like, what is he?
Singer.
He's into pop a lot more, and
R&B, like I don't know how to explain it, like soul music.
oh, I got you. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, like some
What is
like
this?
some club music. I don't know,
But
some disco.
he's got a lot of like rhythm to it, and
It's feeling music. You know what I'm saying? It gets you in a certain mood.
and Prince is a perfect person for that. Have you ever seen the Dave Chappelle show?
Yes. Are you talking about Rick James?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick James.
I'm
I
Rick
love-
James, bitch.
Rick James, bitch. Did you know that Dave
Okay,
Chappelle
one hell of a drill.
was at Disney World with his daughters, and somebody came up to him and just randomly said that. Just went, "I'm Rick James, bitch." And
Wait,
he was
somebody
just-
came up to Rick James and said that?
No, yeah, to Dave Chappelle, and went, "I'm Rick James, bitch."
And it was-
When he was at Disney World with his daughters, just like randomly in public, someone came up to him and said that. He said it in a comedy special. He's like, "You guys realize that like I do have a life, like I have kids." Like you can't just come up to me randomly and go, "Oh, suck your dick, bitch," like shit like that. Like you can't.
Like,
He's
cause then
like-
the kids fucking hear it.
Yeah, that's what he
And
was
then
saying.
your
And
mind-
he's like,
they're
my
like-
kids don't understand that I'm like that. He's like, you guys gotta calm down.
They're like, Daddy, what is this random fucking
Who's
guy doing?
who's Rick James?
But
Rick James paid the bills for a long time. That's all you need to know.
yes, and there's an episode about Prince, and I think they
I don't
play
think I've
bas.
seen that.
Oh, dude, you should watch this. It's funny
I'll
as
definitely
shit.
go home and look it up though.
Cause like, he plays. They have a basketball match, and Prince turns out to be like fucking really good at basketball.
The fuck?
Like he can like make layups. He can do 3-pointers and shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but that was just a funny ass episode. I don't remember anything that happened other than they played basketball and it was Prince and he was just fucking killing it. But like,
What's your opinions on Michael Jackson?
touching kids.
Yeah, so
But he
I was
made some
actually
good
gonna-
ass
I was
music.
gonna say something about that. Do you know the movie Home Alone?
Yes.
The kid from Home Alone stayed the night at Michael Jackson's mansion, slept in his room. We gotta now. When I say that, you gotta realize Michael Jackson had a 2-story bedroom. 2-story bedroom. I'll say that again.
Holy.
Yeah, I know, right?
And upstairs,
and-
and
and-
there's an upstairs and a downstairs.
Yeah, there's an upstairs and a downstairs, and this kid slept in Michael Jackson's bedroom at like 9-10 years old.
And with Michael.
No,
his
not like
bed?
in the same bed. No, like he was just like I think he was in the downstairs. Mikey was in the upstairs. Anyways, like he spent the night there. Like, and he was notorious for like being at Mikey's house. Like they were dope friends. And like I don't know if there was some kitty touching and shit going on, but like I don't know. Whenever he talks about Michael Jackson, he always just seems to be very very happy. So I don't think anything happened to him.
Hopefully not.
I hope not.
But was it confirmed that he did touch kids? Like or did he slept with them or what
I
was
don't
it?
know. Well, here's what I heard. Apparently, Michael Jackson liked a long look at the anus. Yeah, he just liked to look at little kids' buttholes.
Oh.
Yeah. Take that in for a fucking second.
I know. Fun fact. I think Gandhi used to sleep with kids, but not touch them. He would do it as like a temptation thing, like
You see-
he's fighting them.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know a lot about Gandhi, honestly. I don't know. I mean, like, I know who he is. I knew he was like a thing for rights, or maybe like I don't know, something against government or some shit.
I think that's true, but yeah,
He's about peace or something. I know he wrote a book.
and he had starved himself for world peace because there was a war going on. I think.
Yeah. Did you ever the Rage Against the Machine album, The Monk Burning Himself? You ever seen that?
Yep. So I think I learned about. I'm trying to figure out where I learned that was the monk burning himself. I learned it at Strum Around.
Oh,
You know where Strum Around? You know Strum Around?
No.
It's just this like place in Sandusky. It's a plaza. People jam there. It's a bunch of bands that go there, and it's awesome. I go
Never
there to
heard of
jam
it.
sometimes. But like they had this meeting for meditation and
Yeah.
learning about it, and it was like that person, the monk, like he was, heavy in meditation. That's why he was capable of doing that,
Yeah.
and he was able to like sit there and not move and not flinch and just let himself burn and die.
Yeah.
So wait, what were we gonna say about it?
Oh no, I was just saying. Did you know that that was a monk? Because most
I
people
learned about
don't
it
know
recently.
that. Most people just think it's like a mannequin or something. No, that's an actual person. And there's actually a video out there where you can see like the other monk running up to him and throwing a match on him. Like, bro, that's something else.
That's a statement. Like I don't know what he was. I think he was just trying to do that for like world peace, like saying like nobody wins. But
I have no clue, honestly. I don't even know where I'd start.
that's my sister. Hello,
Cool.
Maya. But shit. What are we talking about?
I don't know, something about burning people.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to think about what was before that. Oh yeah, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
Dude, what do you like Michael Jackson music?
Listen, Billie Jean hits no matter what mood I'm in.
Hell yeah.
Other than that, not a big fan of Thriller. Not a big fan of the kitty touching. So I don't know. Other than Billie Jean, not really a fan.
Yeah, I don't really like Thriller either, but I like a lot of his. I enjoy. Oh, what was it? I wanna walk with you.
I've never heard that one.
Dude, every time that song comes on, I'm like jigging.
Bro, he had one called I think it was Man in the Mirror. That one hit pretty hard too.
That's a good ass song.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Sung a lot about peace, and then you touch kids.
Well, apparently he just liked to look at him.
Oh wait, shit! Fucking, you like looking at it.
Yeah, you like looking at him. But I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things where like a part of it could be true, but it's just gone through the media so much it just got blown the fuck up really big,
Yeah.
and it went every which way.
So it's like now it's like nobody really knows, but
Yeah, everybody kind of has a speculation, and it just kind of goes with the name.
yeah.
Just like when you talk about Epstein, first thing you think of is the island. But that guy was
The first
That
thing I
was
think about
terrible.
is the suicide, but it
Quote,
wasn't
unquote.
wasn't yeah. What that a lot of the data just points to it being a what was it? He got killed.
Yeah, so what a lot of people were saying is that the guards let other people into his like his room at night. Like that's the last speculation I heard was that one of the guards got paid off to like leave his cuz he was in solitary. Like he was in a room like in some story up. Like he was not in like a typical jail. So legit they just like left his shit open.
I heard it was like they let him off suicide watch for like a second, and then
Yep.
like supposedly the cameras turned off for like a second, and then that's when it all happened, and
Supposedly.
very very sketchy. Oh yeah, back to my trip.
Oh yeah.
Shit, bro, that's what I was like trying to think about.
Yeah, that was a while ago. So you ate the sandwich.
And then I saw the pyramid.
Yes, the pyramid.
The glowing lights and the pyramid people playing the ping pong. I was super confused looking at the screen.
And
I
then
did,
you're watching people play ping pong.
and it's like, and that's why I noticed I started tripping. I was like, oh shit. Oh, I want to watch Bob Ross, and that's the idea I had. And I was like, so I watched Bob Ross, and it's so cool like watching his paintings while tripping, because like it's like all of it's like blending together in a way that's like.
I got I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I got something
you're
like that. It's a picture of Bob Marley made up of little pictures of Bob Marley, and I looked at this thing and freaked the fuck out because all I could see were all the different little eyeballs.
You couldn't make sense of it. You were like,
Yep, I didn't know what the fuck it was.
You
I
felt
just
like you were
looked
being
at it and
stared
all I
at.
saw was eyeballs.
That must have
yeah.
been scary.
Oh yeah, it was. But like back to what you were saying, that's some crazy shit, man.
I remember getting out of that video and like scrolling through all the Bob Ross videos and like there's just like Bob Ross
Bro, I can't
holding
even use a phone.
yeah. Because I don't know. It's anyway, I'm looking at all the Bob Ross fucking screens, or what is it?
Like the videos? Yeah,
Thumbnails.
yeah.
And it's always like a photo of Bob Ross like holding a paintbrush, smiling at you. And I'm just
Yeah.
like looking at all these Bob Rosses, and they're all like just smiling at me. And I'm just like kind of
All
like
the different
giggling.
clothes are changing and shit.
Yeah, it's so weird how like the thing like it's like panning across the videos, and I was just like tripping. And then so I turned, and I was like, Dax, I brought a light here. It was like this like little blue laser, and I took
Okay.
it and I shot it like out the hall, and it was like a dark hall, and it was really cool because like all these lights are like fucking like flashing off the wall and
Yeah,
reflecting,
man.
and I would aim it at something and it would like reflect off that light. And
I got a
was like,
question. Were you ever like looking at the TV and then like the colors from the TV were like in your peripheral vision? Like it looked like it was just like coming off the screen?
I feel like that's what might have happened. I'm not sure.
Cause like that shit happened to me.
Because like it stays in your retina, and then like you look around, and it's like you can.
Well,
still
no,
see
no, no,
it.
no. Like you're looking at the TV, right? And then the colors from the TV are just like all over here. Like
They're,
it
like
just
dragging, kind of
yeah, like it looks
uh,
like it's getting like if you ever look at a light and it looks like it's got like the X coming off them, it looks like that. Like it just looks like rays in your
wow.
peripheral. That's what my first experience was like.
I
And
don't think I don't
that's
know.
when I first knew it was doing something. I was like, what the fuck? And then I'd go to like look, and then they'd be gone, and I'd be like, and my buddy was like, the fuck are you doing? I'm like, bro, I'm chasing the lights. But yeah, shit like that.
I don't know if I had that. I might have, but I might not have recognized it. But
Did you ever feel like you could read people's emotions? Like you knew how they were feeling?
no.
Really?
I just felt so much in how I was like I was in my own head, like just like whirling, and like I was trying to have all these like different thoughts, and I don't know if I was like I wouldn't say I was forcing it, but I was like trying to have a bunch of different thoughts, and I don't know if like that's good, but like I was in my head a lot. But
How would you describe your experience as a whole?
very like wasn't bad. It was definitely like I enjoyed it, but like it felt crazy as fuck. I'm not done yet
Yeah.
though. So like I turn, I have the lights. I look at Dax. We're laying down on the bed, like, and I'm just like laughing. Like we're having like laugh fits for no reason, like
Yeah.
screaming, laughing, and it's like we don't even know fucking why. And I'm just like, we just like keep looking at each other and giggling, and like I'm like we should do something. So we stand up, and I'm like spinning, like spinning,
yeah,
and every time my back would turn and Dax would be facing my back, he would like touch my back. And then we keep spinning, and I'd see his back, I'd touch his back, and I'd like we keep spinning, and he'd see my back, and it was just like we were just like doing shit just to do it and just like
Really?
laugh. And I remember he was like recording me. I was doing some dumb shit. I was just
I've never done shrooms with somebody else though.
really
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
only one tripping.
Yeah, every time I've done them, I've only been the one doing them because I've never had like people to do them with. Like
Oh,
every
shit.
every time I'm like, hey yo, I got some mushrooms. You want to come over? And they're like, nah, man. Like weed's really more my thing. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, some people it feels like you gotta prepare for a mushroom trip, and you gotta like really
Yeah.
want it. And
I had to I had to make sure I had a good day. Like that was one of the things that my mother told me is like you got to make sure you have a good day. You got to make sure like there's nothing that day that when you take these that you're gonna like dwell upon. You're like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have done that like that.
yeah,
But I went to school that day and I am I know we're kind of talking about mine again. It's all good, but
no, you're good.
but like I had a decent day at school, and I remember my teacher complimented me on something, and that made me feel really good. Like I was like walking fucking high all day, and I was like, all right, I think tonight's the night, and it was a Friday,
Hell
and
yeah.
mom was doing them that night too, so I was like, okay, I might do them, and then I did them, and then now I did them like 2 more times after that, and I always describe it as like I feel like a baby in the middle of the wasteland, and I'm just looking around. Like I have no lifelines, no parents, nobody else. Like I'm just like sitting in the middle of the wasteland, and I'm just like taking everything, and like I can't interact with the wasteland, but I'm checking it out, you know?
Yeah, it is like I like that baby way you put it, because I feel like it's way more primal. Like
Yeah.
like the thoughts you're having, you're acting off of like a lot of first intuitions.
Well,
and
I like to use the baby analogy because it's like there's nothing I can do. Like I'm strapped into this ride, and the only thing I can do is just take everything in and
Yeah.
try not to freak out. And like I feel hopeless, and I feel like I'm at the mercy of the experience.
That's
And part of that scares the fuck out of me. But it's just like you got to keep yourself calm.
it's like you gotta just know what you're getting into, and just like you said, just take it all in, like,
Yeah.
and not try to stress out, because like your stress, like the more you try, like the more you try to fight it, the more like it makes itself, it's shown to you.
That's what happened. Is I kept like after I saw the colors and shit, like I was just like, no, this ain't fucking happening. I'm like, I'm gonna go take a piss. And I went, bro. I flipped that little bathroom light on, bro. I turned that bitch right back off. I'm like, fuck it. That room is scary. I'm like, I'm going out here. I'm like, but I was like, there was nothing in there. I'm like, why the fuck am I scared of the bathroom? I'm like, damn, I must really be high. I'm like, the fuck?
And it's like you're always having those like moments where like, oh, it's because I'm high.
Yeah,
It's like,
it is. It is.
But it's like so funny. Like you get so caught into like what's happening, and you're like, oh, I'm just high. And
But what was the weirdest thing though is like, I tripped for probably a good 7 hours. Like, I'm used to a weed high where like I smoke a shit ton, and then maybe like 2-3 hours later I'm like nothing. Like I'll start to feel it come down. Man, I was sitting in my bed at like 4 o'clock in the morning, still like looking at the walls and shit. I'm like, is it over yet? Is it over yet? Like I kept waiting for it to just be over. And then I woke up the next day and I'm like, something feels different.
It's like, it's hard to tell whenever it's over, because even after it's over, it still has effect on you. Like you've changed forever after you like trip. That's what my friend says. I feel like in the look you gave, it looked like, is it like wrong? Like, do you think that's wrong?
I don't think that's wrong. It's just incorrect. Like I never felt different. I did hear that too, and I expected it, but I never felt different. I felt like my morals and like I viewed things differently, definitely, but I don't think like I was a whole different person.
Well, I felt like it definitely changed me, because like my friend Tony like will always bring it up, like, you know, after your first trip, like something changed about you, like I don't know, like your demeanor and the way you speak and how you like look at things, like it's just like you're like a completely changed person. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but
no, you're good. I cut you off. Actually, you keep going.
Back to the trip. So I'm laying down and I'm looking up at this like light, and it's like, it's not on, but there's a bunch of spirals in there. I'm just like letting it like spiral out. And it's like there's spirals that are like going on that are not even in the light, but it's like on the ceiling now, and I'm like, holy shit. And I looked outside, and there's like this little like barn with like a light on the door, and I'm looking at it, and the thoughts I'm having are like, no matter what happens during this trip, I'm gonna end up out there and I don't know why I had that thought, but that freaking barn is like, it looks like it's like quite a walk away, but like I don't know, like I just had a thought, I'm like, I'm gonna end up out there, like I'm, no matter what's happening, I'm gonna be in front of that door. And so Dax has this like, I'm just like looking at Dax, we're done like having the giggle fits, and he just like is like looking around, and I'm looking at this kendama, and like the ball on top of it is like melting, like there's like all these like rainbow colors, and it's just like melting. I'm like, that looks cool. So I'm just like looking at that, having a blast. And then Dax just like gets up and he's like, I'm going outside. And I'm like, okay. And you know, you go do that. And I think I was like kind of scared of the hallway and going outside. Like,
I didn't want to go outside at all.
Yeah, and it was night, and he goes out, and he tells me about his trip later. He said he was just like looking at all the like patterns in the grass. He was like, I could see them. Like, there's like all these fucking patterns, and I'm trying to look at them, and I don't see it, but like I get where he's coming from. And I'm just sitting up there, and then Cole comes over. Cole's one of my other friends. He wasn't he wasn't tripping. He wasn't on anything. He was but we just sit there and we're just talking. I'm like, yo, Dax is outside. We should go out there. And then we end up going outside. I had the courage because Cole was there, and I wasn't scared because of the hallway now that was like holding me in this room. So I fucking go outside. We're like, Dax, where are you? And he's just sitting down in this like sand bar that they have in their backyard, and he's just like chilling and just looking around. He's like, dude, this is fucking sick. Like, And I remember when I got outside, I'm just like looking up at the stars, and I'm trying to like see what he's seeing, like all the patterns and shit. But everything really just looked the same, but like more like painted.
Yeah.
If like I just noticed like different colors that like I wouldn't see before in different shades, but everything was like black, so I didn't really see it. Also, it kind of looked like tunnel vision.
Really?
Yeah, like there was like a shade of black on the rim of my eyes. I'm like really just like look like focused on wherever I'm looking. I can't see anything else. And I tried imagining like Siren Head like running at me from the distance and his like tall ass, and I couldn't imagine in my head, but I was trying to like freak myself out like with my own head, but I still wasn't freaked out. I was just like completely like fine with everything around me. Like I knew all the thoughts I was having, like I'm untouchable. Like I'm the only one out here, and there might be somebody hiding and waiting to kill me, but that's unlikely.
You see, my ass turned the lights off.
In your room?
Well, no, like when I went to bed, I had my ex turn the light off as they left. Worst fucking decisions. My boy, I always sleep with a fan on, because even as a kid, like I have like really good hearing, so I would like hear shit like my house like settling and like my house creaking and stuff. So I'd always just flip the fuck out. Well, my fan wasn't on. My room was pitch black, and I just heard somebody walking like throughout my house. I knew it wasn't real, but I just kept psyching myself out, and I finally yelled for my ex, and my ex like peeps their head in the door. I'm like, were you out there walking? And they're like, no, I'm laying down. I'm like, I hear someone walking. And they're like, Seth, just go to bed. You're tripping. I'm like, okay.
That's the thing. Like, it's so hard to also go to bed while you're tripping. Like,
yes.
On LSD, like there's no going to bed. On shrooms, I think you can go to bed, but for me, I never was able to. Like, I'm just like, I want to stay up because I want to have the experience. But then, continuing my story real quick, there's this forest in the back of Dax's backyard, and there's this path that like you can go on, and so we're like, all right, we're just gonna walk out there, and there's this like shelter, there's this like barn in the backyard, and like there's like a plane in it. We should go fucking look at it. I'm like, that sounds sick. And Cole's like, yeah, let's fucking do it. So you go walk in the backyard. I'm getting bit up, and I'm like looking around like, holy shit. Like I feel like I'm in this like cave in a dungeon, I'm like imagining all this shit like in the woods. And I know it's just my imagination and just like colors and shit. So I'm just like having fun. And we're like walking out. I don't know how fucking long we were walking, but we finally get there. And we show up to the fucking barn. I don't know how to like explain this, but like I was like, in my head, I'm like, this is the fucking barn I was just looking at out the window. And I'm like, holy fuck, like, did I just like?
It's all coming true. I manifested it.
That's literally what I was thinking. Like I fucking just manifested like this, and like this, I don't know. I'm God, but it wasn't that. It was just like fucking in his backyard, and just. It's close enough, and we wanted to go for a walk, and then we couldn't open the door, so we're just like fuck, and we turn around, and there's like this like line of trees, and there's just like plain field, and we just like, oh, we should go for a walk. So go for a walk, and then like the line of the trees ends, and we look to the right, and there's like this factory, and it's so beautiful, like looking at all the lights with like the cornfield like just laid out. And then we hear voices out in the fucking cornfield, and we're like just people like yelling at us like, they sound like crazy ass people.
I can imagine.
And Cole hears it too, and me and Dax we're just like fucking run. We turn around, just are bolting it back to the fucking Dax's house. And I had these sandals on, so like when I was trying to run, the sandals kept fucking falling off, and I had to fucking take them off, and they got all muddy and shit. But dude, it was awesome. That's like when the tunnel vision got like really heavy, and I was like just focusing on like running.
I was watching my buddy turned on a Trippy Red video, and like everything else in the video went white except for his red hair. Bro, everything in my room that was red stuck out like a fucking light bulb. Like it was just
after looking at his hair like that.
Well, no, because like everything in the video went white except his red hair, and so everything else in my room went white except everything that was red.
Dude, that's like trippy as shit.
I know, and that was I think probably one of my favorite things about it, because I can remember that part, and I was just like, because that was one of the things where I could actually like look around and it would stay the same, and I could just actually like experience it.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. We're at an hour and 54 minutes.
We're about to hit 2 hours, man.
We are about to hit 2 hours.
Do you want to hit 2 hours, or do you?
Nah, we should probably cut it off soon. Eh?
All right, so let's try to end this with something. Well, I got back. I'm gonna end this with my trip. All right.
Okay.
So I got back from running and shit, and I'm just like, we're just chilling now. We're like, dude, what the fuck just happened? And me and Dax are talking about like how our experiences, because we feel like we're kind of coming down, but we're still tripping.
Mm-hmm.
But we've hit our peak already. So, oh yeah. Also, while we were running back after hearing those voices, I saw this like fucking tree that looked like, I'm gonna sound racist, but it looked like a KKK mask. Like, and like this is how I always describe it, because it was a triangle, but like with a fucking very like
tall point.
Yeah, and I looked at it, and it's just like an object that like stuck out. And I was like, huh, triangle. I don't know why. I just
always back to the triangles.
I decided to remember that. But shit. So we get back, we're talking about shit and just our thoughts, and after that's done, he goes inside, and I've decided to sit in the hot tub for a bit, and I'm just like looking up at this
hot tub.
Yeah, bro. He has a hot tub. It's nice. And I'm just the only one there, still coming down. I'm looking up, and I'm just looking at the stars, and I see like my friends' faces, like in you know, made by the stars. And I know like my mind's just drawing it, but like I was just like really calm by the fact like I could see their faces like in the stars. And I was like, shit, there's Dax, and there's Cole, and there's fucking Josh, and there's Tony, and there's like all, you know, Brock and all my friends. I'm just like I don't know why I'm having like heavy euphoria, just like getting happy about like little shit. And like I don't know, I just like had this like calm feeling, and I was like, all right, I'm ready to go back inside. And then that's the end. Yep, I think I started like coming down like way more there, and we went to bed, and yeah, that's it. Mhm.
That's the whole thing.
That's the whole shebang.
It's a whole shebang. That's the milkshake and fries.
Yeah, dude, we hit about 2 hours. This is a good episode.
Just kept going.
And we didn't even fucking try, man.
No, I just been sitting here shooting the shit.
This is why I love free form. Anybody else who wants to be on here, just come on and talk shit, and we'll be here, and I'll be asking you questions. You'll be asking me questions, and we'll be learning new shit. Well, and this is the fucking Happy Cast, and you do your own shit and talk all that shit, and you can do it, and you can fucking get it done. You could have that shit for people to listen to, and now you're going off like fucking Rigadude. Holy shit. Let's make a song.
It's all right.
Oh, you're good on that?
What?
You're good on that?
Oh, no. I just... That's all right.
All right, here we go. I got the beat ready. It's going to be really off-tempo. Are you ready, Seth?
Aye, Captain.
Okay, let's hear this shit. What did I just cook?
Sauce.
Motherfucker, I dropped blood out my fucking vessels, and that shit got my lungs. Seth, you got the flow now. Can you give me the cow cash going flow?
That's not me, dog. What's up?
Seth is my man, he here today. We going off anyway. Now this song is gonna DK like fat shit. Whoa!